Good morning, friends. I'm Pastor Ben Hayes from First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thought for the day on this Thursday morning. And as we get started this morning, I just have a special word for one of our faithful viewers, watches every day, follows along in our worship services on Sunday. I love to hear that from folks. But special word to Miss Betty Lou Fuller, living in the hills of East Tennessee, who is experiencing a birthday today. And I just want to wish you the happiest of birthdays and to tell you that I prayed for you this morning and I will be praying for you this day, just asking God to give you a great birthday this year. And I hope that you have many, many more. Well, folks, if you're following along with us, we're in Proverbs chapter 30. We come to the end of this chapter, the final words of Agur, the wise man, the man we know very little about, but that God saw fit to include his wise sayings in our book of Proverbs. And this is one of those sayings, this is one of those sections that we probably all could benefit from paying attention to. At times, we just need to hear this word. Listen to what he says. If you've been foolish in exalting yourself, or if you have devised evil, put your hand on your mouth. For as the churning of milk produces butter, and wringing the nose produces blood, so the forcing of wrath produces strife. Do you get what he's saying here? He's saying if you're one of those people that's always exalting yourself and talking about your accomplishments and lifting yourself up, what we would say tooting your own horn, or if you're one of those people who like to criticize and stir up problems and you're the one that's always gossiping and backbiting and if you're causing evil things to happen through your words, he says you need to sit down and shut up. Well, that's the Alabama way of interpreting this verse. Because look at what he says. He says, you should put your hand on your mouth. Stop talking. Because you know what happens? Too often in this world, people speak without thinking. That's right. They speak without thinking. Their mouth is in drive while their mind is in park. And that's one of the things that causes so many problems in our world today. We respond instantly. We talk too much. You know, the old saying is true. God has given us two ears and one mouth, so that means we ought to listen twice as much as we talk, especially if the words that we're going to talk about are always causing trouble. Now, look at how he finishes this up. He says, as the churning of milk produces butter. Well, we're all familiar with that process. You churn that milk, and all of a sudden it goes from a liquid into a solid. And what he's talking about here is our actions have consequences. The same thing with the wringing of the nose that produces blood. Our actions have consequences. You know, that's one of the truths that carries forth in just about every aspect of life on planet Earth. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, one of the great laws of physics. And the truth is, even with our spoken words, there are consequences to what we say, consequences to what we do. And look at what he says. The forcing of wrath produces strife. Now, think about that. Have you ever gotten angry and yelled at somebody and calmed down a situation? No. Most of the time, if not all of the time, anger simply continues to cause more problems. Because what happens? I get angry with you and I say something. What do? You get angry with me and you retaliate. You strike back. You say something to me. That's why the wise sayings of Solomon and so many others are always talking about how a soft word turns away wrath. I got to tell you, when my wife in the early years of our marriage would have disagreements, the worst thing in the world to me was when she wouldn't say anything to me, when she would just stop talking. Now, I got to tell you, it just frustrated me. But here's the thing, it also made me stop talking. See, there's just something in us that says, if you say this to me, I got to say this to you. So if we break that chain and one of us just sits quietly or says something kind, it breaks the cycle. And all of a sudden, we have an opportunity for peace. That's what he's talking about here. He's talking about how we need to watch our words and understand that we're not all that there is in this world. We are never going to be the best at anything. There's always going to be someone better than us. And if you can't find a human being that's like that, there's always God. And we are so much less than Him. So keep that in mind today. Have a great day. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. And again, Miss Betty Lou, happy birthday. God bless.